Hey y'all, welcome back. We just fished Camanche and was up there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Had a club tournament there. Friday we just fooled around. Went up there late. There was a windstorm in the morning. Got out of there, I think like 9 or something. We stopped for breakfast on the way. We took back roads. But yeah, basically screwed around, looked around some things. Let's get to it for Saturday. Saturday for me, the morning time, I actually didn't really have a good spot that I wanted to go to from Friday. And I kind of went with my gut instinct. There's a point off of the dam that has some wood structure, it has some deep water, it has some rock. It's got a little bit of everything, so I headed to that. The baits that were working for me in the morning was my partner caught them on a jerk bait in the Vision 110 plus 1 in the French Pearl. It's the bright or the white one. And then for me, it was a rig with blanket on it, thread fin, and then bluegill flash. Honestly, I just wanted bait colors, and that's what was left over from Berryessa. And they were following it. The couple times I did see them, they were following it on forward scan. And I got a couple of them to eat in the morning. I don't think I had any other morning bites besides A-rig, jerkbait, and drop shot. But we'll talk about that in a second. How was your morning Saturday?
Well, I went to my spot and 2 boats were on either side of me. I was
I may have been one of them.
I was pretty penned in. So I fished for a minute and I just wasn't feeling it. There's weeds between about 20 to 30 feet of water is where the weed line is. So I jumped and moved, ran up and started fishing, and I went slow and low. I went with the Ned rig, Goby Bryant, and I started catching them.
Just focusing on the weeds.
The weed,
deeper weed line.
The deeper weed line. And it was a mush bite, weight and mush.
Yeah, just load up.
Just load up. But that basically what I did. My partner threw an underspin down there, but you know when you throw that out, you're gonna be throwing it out there and waiting for a while.
Yeah.
1/4 ounce underspin at 30 feet.
Yeah.
And then slow cranking it in. That was doing all right also. But yeah, we ended up on Saturday just basically staying in the same area. And I ended up with 1179. And I had a big fish of 313.
Yeah.
Or large.
I had 11.5 pounds. My big fish was 279 or something like that. Like our bags were literally separated by that big fish.
Yeah.
Other than that, the rest of them were all that clones-ish kind of, was it like 2 pound average-ish,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. The low and slow he's talking about with the Ned rig. That's what I was doing with drop shot. Again, focusing on that grass. The A-rig was actually up on some wood that was up in that like 10 to 15-ish area. There's some wood on there. And that's where I was throwing the A-rig over. I did try other baits. Mag Draft was the one that actually had the best reaction, but they just deep followed it. They were so far behind it, I knew within the 3rd fish that I saw following it, put it down, move on. As much as I'd love to catch one on it, it's not gonna work. They wanted something smaller. Drop shot for me was Morning Dawn Chartreuse Tail, or the other one is just Morning Dawn in the Alive Shad, no chartreuse tail. Again, just that grass line is all I was really looking for. We did in the afternoon move to an offshore hump that topped out about 30-ish and has a grass coating on top of it in certain areas. They're in there. We only caught a couple of them, handful of them, but there's a lot of fish on those humps that we saw. That pretty much wraps up my Saturday.
Yeah, mine too.
Sunday for me, short and sweet. Saw a ton on forward scan. Oh, almost skipped it. Saturday, that last hour of the day, partner casts out a line, bait hits the water, and his line starts rising to the heavens from lightning, and there's thunderstorms and stuff. Somebody did say they saw lightning, but the static electricity was making our lines rise. We had an hour left. We weren't really catching anything by then, and we both decided it's time to go. So we went back, packed it up early, and I think that's what shut them down, my bite at least, for Sunday, because the weather actually kind of set up better for me on Sunday. But I think that storm that came through with that static electricity, it screwed them up for me. Saw a ton. They were still in the same locations. They were a little bit deeper though, but I couldn't get them to eat. Now you got some to eat. How'd you get to eat?
I did get some to eat. I basically I went to the same spot where I caught my limit before, and nothing. I actually spent a couple hours there, and then scrapped it. Just threw it to the wind, moved to another spot, tried to replicate it, and I ended up throwing into some stuff. I could feel the weeds, and then felt a little more weight. I set the hook, and man, I had a fish. Yeah, I was kind of excited.
Lo and behold.
Yeah, but it was kind of slow that day. So I started just moving around and doing different things, looking for other things that I knew of. I went to the Narrows, to the ends of the Narrows where the rock bluffs come out. I picked up a fish almost immediately there.
Again, Ned rig.
And then I picked up another one, drop shot, running those bluff walls. But that was basically it. I was throwing the Morning Dawn chartreuse tail, throwing it out, letting it dead stick, and picking them up.
Sunday was a lot tougher for almost everyone.
Yeah, except for
one team literally sat on a spot and soaked one spot out. We'll call it an offshore hump, and they had 13 pounds, 13 pounds, just soaking an offshore spot. Basically, they were able to figure out how to get the fish that I was seeing to eat, and I was not able to get them to eat. Yeah. I'm not that good, I guess.
The water temp's about
that's right,
50 degrees, 50 to 51 degrees. I did before, while I was fishing the Narrows along those bluffs, I decided I had a couple spots that were further up in the Narrows. I started to run. I got just about the corner to where you turn up to go to the dam. Or not the dam, but the bridge.
To the bridge.
And the water was chocolate milk. Like it was clear and then immediately chocolate milk because we were getting so much rain.
Yeah, there was.
So I don't know how that's going to be for this next weekend, if it's cleared out or not, but we've been getting more rain and we're supposed to get more rain this weekend.
Yeah, water clarity when we were there was 5-6 foot.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, down the dam area, kind of that area. I did run a lot of areas, and it's kind of all about that 5-6 foot area. Unless, like you said, when you run up the creek, I don't know how much of that water is going to push out to change for following weekends, but I doubt the fish are going to change too much. They're probably going to be in the same general areas. Okay. It's just they may not. The baits may change. You may go from a Morning Dawn to I don't know, margarita mutilator or
I did
something
have-
with a darker profile.
I did have a couple fish spit up some pretty good threadfin shad.
Yeah,
So,
there was some threadfin there was multiple people reporting
yeah.
that they were getting fish spitting up threadfin. And was there anything else?
No,
That's
that's
pretty
about
much
it.
That's pretty much it. So with that, I hope you get them.